guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we're doing my spooky book haul. So, I have collected these books over the past couple of months. They're spooky slash fall slash thrillery slash atmospheric reads. Nothing like really scary and creepy because I am pretty much a baby with it when it comes to that kind of stuff, but more, you know, YA, spooky, atmospheric type thriller. Some of them are more fall-esque rather than like ghosts and witches and things like that, but like ghosts, witches, vampires, zombies, and all kinds of goodness, so I have quite a few to show you. So I have about 24 spooky reads to share with you guys, and I will be doing lots of recommendations for spooky and fun reads coming up, so just stay tuned for that. Some of these I have read, some of them I have not, and I have just heard of, so let's see what I'm adding to my TBR this month. Okay, first up I have City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. This is her middle grade series about a middle grade girl whose parents are ghost hunters, and I think they have a TV show and they go from town to town and they ghost hunt and they, you know, try to solve mysteries and things like that. I DNF'd this one last year on audiobook. I wasn't a huge fan of the narrator, or I just wasn't in the mood for it. I can't remember. I do want to give it a try physically because it's only like 250 pages. I might save this one for Spookathon. So far I'm not the biggest Victoria Schwab fan, but I have only read This Savage Song and I'm halfway through Our Dark Duet, so I'm wondering if she's just not the author for me, but I definitely want to keep trying everything because I really like her story ideas and everybody else seems to love her too. Next I have Spellbound by Rachel Hawkins. So this is I think the second book in the Hex Hall series, and I do have book one. So basically a paranormal boarding school, which sounds like totally perfect and great, and I know this one is just more like hocus pocus fun spooky rather than actually like really creepy and dark. So I'll definitely need some of these because I've been reading some darker things this month. Okay, so this is Echo by Pam Munoz Ryan. I have had this one on my TBL, my audiobook list, for a little bit because the cover just looks amazing. But basically there's a forbidden forest, mysterious sisters, a prophecy, a promise, and a harmonica, and it's a middle grade series. It's supposed to be spooky and creepy. I love anything with like magical forests, so we're gonna give it a try. But this one is a very large middle grade book. It's almost 600 pages, so I'm debating on doing this one or the audio, but I'll let you guys know. My friend Taylor sent me this one. I threw it in here instead of my trade video because this is A Stolen Child by Keith Donahue. So this is a dark fae series, so it says, "Come away, O human child, to the waters and the wild, with a fairy hand in hand, for the world's more full of weeping than you can understand." So, dark fae story. I recently found Through the Looking Glass by Frank Fedor and Seeing Red by Frank Fedor. I've had this one off and on multiple times throughout the years because I've never been able to find book one, but these are a dark Alice in Wonderland retelling. It might be adult, I'm not entirely sure, and it's got very mixed reviews, but I have all three books now. This one was an autographed copy, which is kind of cool. So I don't know if I'll get to it this year, but sometime soon. So I found Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, which I've been looking for quite a while. I am halfway through this one on audiobook, and I'm not loving it so far, but I've also just got a lot of other things that I want to read, so I don't know what the deal is yet, so stay tuned and I'll let you know. I refound Need by Carrie Jones. This is also a dark fairy story. I have 2 or 3 of the books in the series now. I had them all at one point and then I unhauled them. Now I'm hauling them again because I do that. Again, super short fairy story, dark, like the fairies leave like glittery trails behind them. I don't know, I really like the covers for some reason. So I found The Haunting of Sunshine Girl by Paige McKenzie. This says it's based on the YouTube web series phenomenon. I know nothing about that. Mysterious, possibly witchy. I think it has southern vibes as well. I definitely need to check out what this YouTube phenomenon is about, but this is one I'm leaning towards getting done this year because I also have the second book. At Dollar Tree, I found Dearly Departed by Leah Hebel. It says author of Dearly Beloved, so I think this might be the second book in the series, but this is set in the future at a place called New Victoria, and it's a high-tech nation modeled on the moors of an antique era. And then 16-year-old Nora is more interested in the country's political unrest than debutante balls. And then, I don't know, it's like zombies and stuff like that. But it sounds really awesome, like futuristic, but also like gothic. Yeah, I've never heard of anything like that, so I hope this is book one. If not, I'll have to get it. I found Salt and Storm by Kendall Culper. Originally, this gave me mermaid vibes. Then I found it's more like witchy, and it's set on Prince Island, and there's like witches and islands and like waters and stuff like that. I think she might be like an elemental witch. So still excited about it, just for a different reason now. Found This Is Our Story by Ashley Elston, mainly because everyone loves Ashley Elston, and I've never read anything by her, but it says 5 went in, 4 came out, mysterious, dark, foresty, fun. I found The Night Gardener by Jonathan Auxier, who wrote Peter and His Fantastic Eyes, and I think I have one other middle grade story from him. And so this is just about like kids that find a mysterious garden, and it's like supposed to be like creepy, and I don't know why the guy kind of looks like Abe Lincoln. But I, of course, am really into gardening right now, and it's a spooky season, so I thought that this one sounded cool. Again, I might do this one on audio. If I do, I won't keep this physical copy, but it's such a pretty book. Like, it's got, let me see, these cool sections in it and like cool chapter headers. So I hadn't heard of this one before, so I'm kind of excited, and I hope to let you guys know this year how it is. Really pumped. I found Dreamdark Blackbringer by Laini Taylor. This is book 2 in the Dreamdark series. Again, more dark fae. This is very underrated and not talked about on BookTube, but it's Laini Taylor and everybody loves her, and I loved her Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. So I know book 1's incredibly hard to find, but I think my library might have it, so yay. And the fairies are actually like tiny because they ride crows and stuff. Yay! I found Fairy Tales and Nightmares by Melissa Marr. This is a collection of novellas from the Wicked Lovely series, I believe, which I've only read book 1 of, but this book is like not in print anymore and really hard to find in hardback especially. So I really hope I love the rest of the series because I'm excited, and look how like gothic and amazing this cover looks. On The World of the All Souls, this is a complete guide to the discovery of witches in Shadow of Night and Book of Life, and it's illustrated, and it's just really in-depth. I really need to read this series. They're just so huge. Adult paranormal witchy series. I know there's a TV show out about it again, but I couldn't pass up this beautiful like compilation collection. Okay, so now for some super exciting ones. These are a couple I have traded for, but again I included in this haul because they're spooky. So I recently found The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. Really pumped because they don't really have an audiobook for this one on Overdrive or Hoopla. I really wanted to get to it. It's middle grade. It's about a young man whose grandpa made a deal with the devil, and now he has a demon living inside of him, and he doesn't know about it because it's like an inherited thing. Really terrible description, but sounds like literally like the perfect Halloween read, and I love middle grade around Halloween time. So because of that, my friend Lindsay traded me The Last Life of Prince Alistair for some books. I literally can't remember what I sent her, which is the second book in the series. And there's like a little magical cat, and it's so pretty. So now I have books 1 and 2, and I'm ready to go. Found The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer by Michelle Hodkins. I read this one last year, and originally I was like, I don't really need to own these. I didn't like it that much. But then fall comes around, and I kind of keep thinking about these books, and even though they kind of creep me out and disturb me, I think I do want to own them because I like them and they're good for recommendations too. So I have book 1 now. I think I read that in September of 2018. So you guys can head to that video and watch it if you're interested. I found Monstrous Volume 2 by Marjorie Liu. So this is just a graphic novel about a monster girl or a witch girl or something. I am going to go get book 1 from the library because I don't have it. And I think I'm going to read that one during Spookathon, possibly this one if I love them. It's been a while since I've read a graphic novel, but this one's been on my radar for fall and Halloween time. Really pumped because I found My Plain Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jody Meadows. This is the Owl Crate exclusive signed edition that I found at the Goodwill, which is totally amazing. And it's really cool. It's signed and everything, which normally I don't care about, but for some reason I do on this one, and I think this cover is so beautiful. So this is a kind of like retelling, reimagining mockumentary of Jane Eyre, I believe. And so there's like ghosts and humor and just gothic goodness, and I'm really pumped about reading this one because it's going to be more like lighthearted as well. Really stoked at Book Off. I found Bright Smoke, Cold Fire by Rosamund Hodge. I've been looking for this one forever. I found this in the dollar section, which was super exciting. I loved her Cruel Beauty and Crimson Bound books so much. Her writing is just beautiful. And this is a retelling of Romeo and Juliet with zombies and ghosts, I believe. Like Shakespeare and creepy zombies and ghosts. Like, I need to read this right now. And the second one is also out, so I also need to find that one, but I can get it from the library if I can't find it anytime soon. But also the cover's pretty too, and I know I'm gonna love this, and I'm really pumped. And I found Stalking Jack the Ripper by Kerri Maniscalco in hardback. I just finished this one in September. If my wrap up is up, I will link it up here in the cards and you guys can watch me talk about it, because I read all 3 of the books in September and I fell in love. I fell in love, but I found the hardback because I originally read a really beat up paperback edition. Now I have this nice pretty hardback for my shelves. And then I sent an ISO out to a bunch of my bookish friends because I was like, I really want Capturing the Devil, and I know a lot of my bookish friends will like accidentally order doubles of things because they'll get like Owl Crate or LitJoy or something, and then they'll also like pre-order the book and not realize that the books are coming in the Owl Crate or LitJoy. Like they just won't realize what book is in the box and they'll have already pre-ordered it. So I sent an ISO to my friends, and then I was like, I will trade multiple copies. So I actually traded like 4 books for this one. So I traded my new friend Jen. I gave her James Steele, Worlds of Ink and Shadow, and then something else, I can't remember, a bunch of gothic horror. I did want to read, but not as much as I wanted, Capturing the Devil by Kerri Maniscalco. This is brand new, it just came out a couple weeks ago, but I burned through the first 3 books in the series, and this is just one that I was like, I couldn't get a hold of it in my library yet. So she sent me this. I'm super grateful. This one's also signed, I believe. Yes. She had a double copy, so she sent me this extra one for a bunch of my older books. So I'm really pumped, and I'll be reading this one in October. So that's everything. All the spooky creepy reads. I already have like, I don't know, 60 spooky creepy reads on my TBR, but why not add some more? Let me know if you guys have read any of these, if you are curious to see if I like them. There were only a couple that I have already read, so I'm really excited to jump into some of these for fall and for Spookathon and for all of the fall Halloween goodness and vibes. Let me know if you guys like to read spooky, creepy, lightly eerie things, atmospheric, magical woods things in the fall, and I will see you guys next time on the bright side. Bye!